Hey everyone, it's Flak. Battlefield players are desperately waiting on more news for the game's upcoming Pacific-themed expansion. There's a bit we know already. The DLC includes 3 maps set for release prior to the end of 2019, with more expected next year. Iwo Jima is confirmed for this year, which looks like a reimagining of the classic map from Battlefield 1942. The other maps, vehicles, and weapons were all unknown, that is, until now. Redditor and data miner Temporyal has been active after the last patch, providing tons of information on secrets buried in the game's files. As with everything data mined, none of this is confirmed officially, and it may undergo significant changes before release if it winds up in the game at all. Take it with a grain of salt. So let's talk maps. Aside from Iwo Jima, Battlefield 5's Pacific expansion is also rumored to include 3 more maps. The first is known internally as Jungle. Very little is known about this map, though it's likely set in dense tropical foliage. We may have seen concept art for the map earlier at this year's EA Play, but that remains unconfirmed. Personally, I'd like to see a jungle map with vehicular warfare in the vein of the Battle of Guadalcanal. The other maps are named internally as Tropic Islands and Wake Island. Tropic Islands is another map we've probably already seen at EA Play. From the looks of it, the map includes several smaller islands and a large volcano in the background. It's not clear where the battle is set, but it could be related to the invasion of Okinawa or perhaps the liberation of the Philippines. Either way, given the amount of water visible in the concept art, it's safe to say boats will play a major role here. Similarly, Wake Island is classic Battlefield, meaning that we can expect boats, planes, and tanks. The last time we saw Wake was in Battlefield 3, so it's been a long time coming. Unlike the version of the map in Battlefield 3, I think we're likely to see massive coastal artillery make a return on the updated version of the map, but that is speculation. If I had to guess, I'd say Wake Island will release in early 2020, since DICE has to nail it, and it would also distance it from the other reimagined maps like Operation Underground and Iwo Jima. Temporyal has also been busy uncovering information about vehicles in the upcoming expansion. Back in April, he found several references to the American Sherman tank, Japanese Type 95 tank, and the Type 3 tank. There's also information on several light vehicles, including the Jeep, a staff car, and the Japanese Kurogane Type 95. Amphibious tracked vehicles include the American LVT and the Japanese Type 2. Meanwhile, other watercraft include the iconic Higgins boat, PT boats, and, surprisingly, an inflatable dinghy. In the skies above the battlefields, Temporyal has found evidence for the Mitsubishi Zero and the Vought F4U Corsair. It seems odd to only see fighters on this list, so it looks like DICE may have a trick or two up their sleeves. Lastly, let's talk about weapons. Temporyal has uncovered references to several Pacific-appropriate weapons in the game files. They include the Type 97 LMG, the BAR 1918A2 LMG, and the 1919 A6 MMG. For SMGs, there is of course the M3 Grease Gun, Type 100, and the Nambu Type 2A. The Garand and the Type 99 Arisaka rifles make an appearance in the game's teaser for the Pacific, while the files reveal data on the American M3 sniper rifle with a suppressor and an infrared scope. Sidearms include the Nambu Type 94, often described as the most dangerous pistol ever made. References to new melee weapons were also spotted, including the infamous katana from the reveal trailer and a burned plank. For gadgets, the lunge mine was previously spotted in the files. All in all, it doesn't look like a bad start for Battlefield 5's Pacific expansion, but again, temper your expectations. None of this info has been officially confirmed, with the exception of the Iwo Jima map. Similarly, it's unlikely that we won't see more vehicles, boats, and airplanes than those that are listed here. We're also unsure if DICE will roll out all Pacific content at once or in small batches. In a future video, I'll talk about what I'd really like to see in a Pacific expansion to Battlefield 5. I also have a couple more detailed videos on the way, so if you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe. Tap the bell for the latest video updates. Once again, thanks to Temporyal for digging into the files and revealing these gems. You'll find his links in the video description. And as always, thanks for watching.